Welcome to Round Class. I'm Palma Michel and I look forward to connecting and co-creating with you. And in today's meditation, we will explore how you can create more positive impact in your life and to imagine an ideal future. I run a podcast called the Explorer's Mind Podcast, and I interview really exciting people there. And one of them is the CEO of Impossible. And Impossible.com is a really cool design firm because what they do is they kind of have at the heart of their business planet-centric design. And what this term means is really before they design any product or service, they start by imagining a future that they would like to see. But really a future that has no limits, an utopian future, for example, with no pollution, healthy air to breathe, enough food for everyone, where everyone lives in harmony with each other, with nature, with the resources of nature. And they imagine a playful future, something cool that they wanted to see in the world. And then from there, they design the types of products that support that vision. And when I came across that, I felt like, well, wouldn't it be cool if this would not just be for the products that we're designing, but for everything we do in life, to really start sort of with the end in mind, that future that we want to see, because I really feel that we all have this unique role to play to either sort of contribute to more harmony and a better future for the planet, or to more confusion and distraction. But I don't know about you, very often for myself, and many of my clients feel the same way too, I can feel like the challenge is so big and I'm so small, and I'm just one of 7 billion-ish people on the planet. What can I really achieve? But I feel if all of us here today and many more people just do whatever is in our means, that can go a really long way and can make a truly massive difference. So today in this meditation, I invite you to explore this theme with me together, where I will guide you through a reflection, where we will try to visualize an ideal future. But if you're new to visualizations in particular, or are not sure if you're visual, that's also completely normal. And if you don't really see many images, just see maybe you hear some words, maybe you can feel a feeling or sense something, and just see what your unique experience here today is, because there's no right or wrong way of doing this. Just doing it and exploring it for yourself is all that really matters. And I also feel that when we do these kind of things together, we can even create a really interesting group feel together. So I invite you now, if you're not already having it, to find a comfortable meditation posture. But it doesn't have to be on the floor, folded up like a pretzel. It can also be on a couch, on a chair, on a bed, but just make sure that you're comfortable there. And I also sort of invite you to really feel your feet on the ground, because that can help with grounding and support as well. And also feel your body on the surface that you're sitting on. And see if you can have a spine that's sort of tall and straight, not slouched like I was just now, because that can be really supportive for the meditation journey. And then lastly, before we get started, you have two choices. Either you can keep your eyes open and rest your gaze at a point in front of you, or you can close your eyes, which many of my clients usually find a little bit easier to get settled into a deeper space. So make your choice of posture and your choice of eyes closed or eyes open. And I hope you will enjoy this meditation. And as you're closing your eyes or keeping your eyes open, I invite you to take a moment to really feel your body, and your body in contact with the surface that you're sitting on. Just for a moment to notice what's present at the level of your body as you're sitting here, without judging it. Then notice what's present at the level of your mind, how your mind is in this moment. Is it calm or is it busy? Now the thoughts that are there, if there are any thoughts, are they familiar or unfamiliar? Just noticing. And what emotion, what feeling tone is present, if any? Just name it briefly. Where do you notice your breathing right now? Is it maybe in your nostrils, in your chest, or in your abdomen? Let's deepen our breath together by taking a deep inhale through your nostrils and a slow exhale through your mouth. Inhaling deeply and exhaling slowly. And if it's weird in any way to breathe out through your mouth, then breathe out through your nose. And as you're finding your rhythm with this deep breathing, I'll invite you to place one hand on your heart and to notice that sense of touch. Notice the texture of your clothes, and to notice if your hand feels warm or cold here. And continue breathing, imagining that you're breathing in and out of your heart space. Inhaling deeply and exhaling slowly. And as you're breathing here, I invite you for a moment to connect with the goodness in your life, to connect with anything that you appreciate, anything that's nice, even the smallest thing. What's the smallest nice thing that you can think of in your life? Picture it, feel it, stay with it for a moment. And then pick another thing that's nice, something that you appreciate. What's nice in your life? This could be as simple as having fresh air to breathe, having enough food to eat, shelter, just for a moment, connecting with the goodness in your life. As you continue breathing, inhaling deeply and exhaling slowly. And then, as if you were to go through your life like watching a movie, remembering happy moments in your life, connecting with the goodness of those happy moments. Where were you? Who were you with? What were the sounds, the thoughts, the feelings? Maybe the smells, the tastes, the colors, the textures. Happy moments in your life. Connecting them, recreating them in your own mind. And continue breathing. Inhaling deeply and exhaling slowly. And I invite you now to reflect for a moment on an ideal future. If anything was possible, what would you like to see? What is a future that you would like to see? Just see whatever arises. If any images comes or ideas in your mind says, that's not realistic. In this moment, I give you permission to dream. Maybe asking yourself, wouldn't it be cool if the future will be ... Just creating an ideal future and see what arises. Picturing it, feeling it, recreating it in your own mind. An amazing future. Just see whatever arises. Feelings, images. Then once you come up with that image of an ideal, beautiful, maybe even utopian future, I invite you to take a moment and ask yourself, how is what I'm doing right now in my life in harmony with this future? Where in my life am I in harmony with this future? And just see what arises. Maybe your mind says, well, you're not so much in harmony with that future. And just allow that to be here. Try to be kind and compassionate with yourself right now. And maybe going one step deeper, thinking about your relationships. Where in your relationships are you in harmony? And where not so much in harmony? Just acknowledging, just taking stock. This is not about striving for perfection. Just allowing anything to be here. Now thinking about your community. When it comes to community, where are you in harmony or disharmony with that ideal future? And what about with yourself? Where are you kind with yourself and not so kind with yourself? And continue breathing, inhaling deeply and exhaling slowly. Anchoring yourself through your breath in the present moment. Maybe you feel it would be helpful to notice your feet on the ground for a moment. Really ground you into the body. And if judgments or emotions arise, that's completely normal. It's absolutely human. No one is perfect. We're all trying our best. And the best is enough. Inhaling deeply and exhaling slowly. Breathing into the palm of your hand. Noticing how your chest expands and contracts as you're breathing in and out. Connecting with your image of the utopian future, the future you want to see for the world, the future you want to see for yourself. And just ask yourself, what is one small step that I can take today to walk into the direction of that ideal future? One step maybe in my relationship with myself. What's one thing that I could do today to nourish myself and see what arises? Inhaling deeply and exhaling slowly. Staying with your breath and see what arises. And what is one thing that comes to mind, if any? One action, even a really small one, you could take in your relationships today to be more in line with that ideal future. And see if any fresh idea comes to mind. What's one small or big thing you could put into action today in your relationships that's in harmony with the ideal future that you imagine? And lastly, is there anything that comes to mind that you could do or would love to do, or that sparks some joy when you think about community or nature? Is there anything comes to mind that you'd like to investigate further, research, or put into action? It's one small step towards that ideal future that you imagined. As no one is too small, no action too small, and everything we do or don't do matters. Now take 3 more deep breaths. And on the out breath, if you feel that there's tension in your mind or body, I invite you to let it go with a sigh. And 2 more of these breaths in your own time. And one last one. And then start to slowly bring some movement back into your body, maybe rocking from side to side, maybe stretching yourself in any way that feels good. If you feel like stretching, and then whenever you're ready, slowly open your eyes if your eyes were closed. And I invite you to transport this practice into a living inquiry in your daily lives. So for example, very often I ask myself in the morning, I set an intention and I ask myself, how could I be of service today? Or I ask myself, how could I embody maybe love, because that's an quality that I identified. It's really important in my utopian future. And I invite you to explore this in your daily life by maybe setting daily intentions if that resonates with you, to see where you can take small, maybe tiny or bigger steps towards that ideal future that you just envisioned. Now, a number of things could have happened in this meditation. Number one is maybe if you're not feeling so visual in this moment, there could have been a stress or an inner critic that told you, you're not so visual. I'm not sure if I'm doing this right. But usually people that are not so visual, they often feel something, or they sense something, or maybe they read words, they hear words, or they just have thoughts as an insight. And all those experiences are perfectly okay. Another thing that can happen is sometimes when we ask ourselves, where am I in harmony and not so much in harmony, that we can be quite hard on ourselves and kind of point out all the things where we're not in harmony. And as I mentioned in this meditation, it's really not about being perfect, because life is kind of a work in progress, and I feel I'm very much work in progress, and everyone's a bit work in progress. And it's really just about showing up and trying our best. And some days are really challenging for us. So trying our best is really just to get out of bed and show up. And on those days, we're of course not making a really big loop towards contributing to the utopian future that we might imagine. Could also be that sometimes it could feel maybe even like a little bit hopeless. So if that was the case, just ask yourself maybe to look around for examples where you can see hopeful things, like kind of moments where people did amazing things in the world. Kind of try to research maybe teenagers, what they're doing, and projects all over the world. For example, there's so much happening at the moment with indigenous wisdom and indigenous people finding more and more audiences also at the UN and other places. Of course, sometimes we feel it's not fast enough. But again, to me, that could be a seed of hope. Other things that could have been experienced in this meditation is that you could have maybe asked yourself, why are we doing gratitude now, or remembering happy moments? Or why did I place my hand on my heart? And that is something that I took from the neuroscientist Rick Hansen, because placing our hands on our heart can activate our vagus nerve and can also really calm down the nervous system and the mind. So it can have sort of a calming and peaceful effect. And even more so, kind of like a double effect, is when we connect with the goodness in our lives, kind of to, as he would call it, marinate in the goodness. And by bringing to mind all the things that are nice in our lives, even if they're small, that can be really helpful. And equally to journal through happy moments, sort of reconnecting with these happy moments past. And usually when we're in a more positive mindset, or the nervous system is more relaxed, from that place it's also a lot easier to visualize our goals, or to visualize something new and innovative, because the mind comes up with more ideas when it's calmer and it's more relaxed. That's why I try to include these things into your practice, and I also recommend experimenting with those when you maybe do have a challenging moment. What else comes usually up with that? So I think right now that's all I have for today. We explored a lot. I hope you will make these practices a living inquiry. I found them incredibly enriching for my life, and I hope you do too. You're never too small to make a difference, because everything we do can have ample ripple effects. We cannot even count them. And if you enjoyed this meditation or would like to meditate with me again, then follow me on my profile to practice either this session again or see when I'm going live next. Thank you for being here. I wish you a wonderful day. and a wonderful life. Until next time.